Hey Aries, welcome to Sweet Tea Astrology and Tarot. My name is Erica. Welcome to the channel. This is your April 2019 Astrology and Tarot card forecast. Happy birthday to the Aries babies out there. Let's talk about what is going on for the month of April. There's quite a few notes that I've taken, so this may be a little bit of an extended video. And while I'm shuffling, let me also give the general reminder that this is a general reading. So if what is spoken about here doesn't apply to you, I invite you to check your sun, moon, and rising signs. So on the 5th of April, we have a new moon at 15 degrees of Aries. This occurs in the first house. Aries, the first house is very much the embodiment of your personality, of your appearance, of your body. It is how the world sees you. This new moon in Aries gives you an opportunity to focus on some changes that you want to make about yourself, your body, or your appearance. And if you put in diligent work for the next 6 months, at the Aries full moon, you will be pleased with your progress. Now on the 10th of April, we have Jupiter, the planet of increase, expansion, and excess, going retrograde in Sagittarius until August 11th of 2019. This is in your 9th house, traditionally ruled by Sagittarius, and it's the house of long-distance trips, higher education, the study of higher-minded things. That's psychology, philosophy, metaphysics, the legal system. This card didn't want to come up, so we're going to keep it out. It's also like foreign people, foreign places, foreign things. The study of foreign languages. The 9th house I like to think of as your worldview expanded through study or travel. So Jupiter going retrograde here means that you're going to be reflecting more internally on 9th house endeavors. Which isn't a bad thing. I mean, you're watching an astrology and tarot video right now, right? That's pretty metaphysical. Jupiter likes to learn things. So, on the very same day, we have the Sun in Aries squaring Saturn in Capricorn. This is a square occurring between the 1st and the 10th house. First house, if the first house is you and the physical embodiment of who you are and how the world sees you, the 10th house is that William Shakespeare's quote, all the world is a stage. The 10th house is the stage that you approach the world on. And it's how the world knows you, through your career and your status, through your dealing with authority figures. It's destiny. It's the way that people know you. It's how they approach you in your very business-minded area of life, 10th house. And just 3 days after that, you have the Sun in Aries squaring Pluto in Capricorn. Again, a square between the 1st and the 10th house. So this is like a decision or a tug of war energy being presented to you about who you are as a person or what your personality type is and how that's working with your career, or how that's working with your status, or how that's working with dealing with authority figures. This can be the actual authorities or authority figures in their world. So on the 17th of the month, we have Mercury finally moving into Aries. By the 17th, Mercury will have fully cleared its post-retrograde shadow and will start moving even faster in the sign of Aries, again in the 1st house. So you're going to be wanting to do a lot of movement or talking or speaking or thinking again. And it's going to be from the me perspective because Mercury is in Aries, and Aries is very me first. On the 19th, we have a full moon at 29 degrees of Libra. This is the very last degree of Libra, giving you an opportunity to reflect on what has happened in your 7th house, illuminating for you your your partnerships and your collaboration, but also dealing with people who may be open enemies. And this can be people that you have an open beef with, but it can also be like open litigation as well. That 7th house is the house of the other. It is people that you have to deal with on a regular basis. Doesn't necessarily have to be your sexual relationships, but most sexual relationships have to go through the 7th house before they can become 8th house and sexual. On the 20th, we have Venus, the planet of love, beauty, money, harmony, and resources, moving into Aries. So we're really going to be feeling ourselves, probably taking a lot of selfies as well. Even if you don't share them with anybody, you're going to feel better. You're going to look better. You're going to be more charming, and could be drawing that sort of stuff to you as well. Again, a lot of first house energy because it's Aries season. So get out there and enjoy yourself. On the same day, on the 20th, we have the sun moving into Taurus, and this is your 2nd house, illuminating the house of your money, your earning ability, your self-esteem, your values, your possessions, the things that you work really hard for and you want to know what's going on with it. And that can be working really hard at a relationship or working really hard at your job for money. Where's it at in the bank? Where's it going? How much am I spending? And who am I spending it on? Pardon me, y'all. So, on the 22nd, we have the sun in Taurus, conjunct Uranus, newly in Taurus in the 2nd house. So it could be like either some liberating energy, some revolutionary energy, because Uranus is the rebel. They are very individual, but they're focused on individuality, but they fight for, or Uranian energy fights for the collective, if you will. So the sun amplifying this Uranus and Taurus energy in the 2nd house could be that you are dealing with an issue about your finances via the internet, because we're just coming out of a Mercury retrograde in Pisces. Some of you may have had to deal with like identity theft is one of the ways that this could manifest. Another thing could be like shocking money coming to you, or money leaving shockingly through like a direct draft. Something like that. Yeah, on the 22nd. On the 24th, we've got Pluto going retrograde in Capricorn, and this will be occurring until October 3rd of this year. This again is occurring in the 10th house, where Pluto squared up with the sun in Aries earlier this month. Pluto going retrograde, any of the planets going retrograde, ask for reflection, usually internally, but reflection of what has gone on, what has transpired. And this reflection is occurring in your 10th house of career, status. It's your destiny and dealing with people who are authority figures in their field of expertise, but also authority figures in the world and in your life, people you have to answer to. And Pluto going retrograde, it could be that you are seeing the other side of this 10th house person, 10th house energy in a different way. You're seeing the shadow side of it, or you have been seeing the shadow side, and we'll see the illuminated side, just depending on what's going on in your personal chart. On the 27th of the month, we have Mars in Gemini squaring Neptune in Pisces. This is a tug of war between your 3rd house and your 12th house. Now, understand Mercury was retrograde and did a lot of moving over Neptune during the pre-retrograde and post-retrograde shadow, even did a conjunction during the retrograde. It could be that you are learning about something that occurred during this retrograde, or information is coming to light that you did not know about. Could be coming to you through a sibling, cousin, or neighbor, somebody in your 3rd house. That is also short distance trips, your communication devices. So it could be that you get an email that maybe was hidden in spam, or you go digging in your spam folder and you find an email that you didn't think was sent, something like that. Because the 12th house is hidden, nebulous. It's dark, it's secret. It's secrets that you keep from yourself, but it's secrets that's kept from you as well. Secrets in general. It's the dream space. It's illusion, delusion. It may be that something that was talked about a while ago that you have forgotten about is coming back up for reevaluation. And it could be something that you have been talking about during the Mercury retrograde, and you finally get to hammer down the details now that Mercury is fully into Aries at this point. On the 30th of April, we have Saturn going retrograde in Capricorn until September 18th of this year, again going in the 10th house. A lot of focus with those big players of Pluto and Saturn in the Capricorn house. That is the 10th house traditionally. I think of these two guys together as destruction for the sake of sacred reconstruction, meaning that whatever has been built here has needed an intense scrutinizing look at it, and what has not been built or attained properly is coming up for review. And it's like you have to prove yourself. And, you know, some of you are going to pass it with flying colors, and some of you aren't. And those of you who don't, understand that this is just another chance for you to reassess and swing again. So yeah, I'm grateful that we have these planets, these players going retrograde, all pretty much in the month of April, because it gives us an opportunity. We've had all of the planets moving direct for the first 2 months of the year. So now we are reflecting on what we have done and what has been done and what needs to be redone or let go of because of this reflection period. So the card that just would not pick up was the Two of Wands. The number 2 won't stay in my hand. All right. The Two of Wands, number 2, is a number of duality. It can also speak to the second house. The second house is where you're going to have some energy flowing through at the second half of the month when the sun moves into Taurus. You've got the sun moving in on the 20th, and then on the 22nd, you have the sun right on top of Uranus, amplifying, giving more energy to that planet. Looking back to the past, just in the posturing of the card as well, is very interesting. Also noting this guy's wearing all red and he's wearing a red hat. Definitely, again, indicating some strong Aries energy in this reading, or this card especially. The Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. This individual, this person, is a creative person that is looking for progress and trying to discover something. And by looking for progress and trying to discover something to make it better, to level up, sometimes you have to go through periods of reflection. I know that when I was doing debate, I would keep my ballots and go back over them to find out. I would glean them. I mean, it was obsessive, to where I would be able to try to discover something that I didn't do, where I could do it better next time. And that's kind of what this card is urging you to do, is going back and looking at the details. And it may be that you need to look at the details in that 10th house because of the squares and the retrogrades that are going on, giving you an opportunity to reflect and maybe make some discovery in an area that you weren't anticipating or just couldn't see. Now, the bottom card, representing the underlying theme or overarching energy of the spread, is the Ace of Cups. The aces are always a potential, a gift, a seed, a new beginning. We are starting this month with a new moon in your sign, Aries. The cups represent water sign energy. The water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. This Ace of Cups deals with emotion, but it's an entry point. It's an opportunity, maybe coming from the past, or maybe you looking into the past, because both of these cards have the posture moving to the left, and for me, that's to the past in my readings. So you're looking back with compassion. You're looking back with... You're looking back, some of you are looking back with self-compassion. Some of you are looking back with compassion for someone who has possibly wronged you, and you are just now either figuring it out or working through that that situation. And for some of you, it may have been rather traumatic, because I also see this water the way that the illustration is, it looks like it's tears that's falling. But I mean, the dove up top always represents peace and hope, right? So approach it with peace, approach it with hope, approach it with love, ground yourself in love so that you can ride the waves of whatever it is that finds you. In the top 3 for clarity, we have another number 2. This is the High Priestess card. This is the second card of the Major Arcana, again representing the theme of duality. You do have that second house being illuminated at the second half of the month. And the High Priestess she's reflective or representative of the moon. And the moon is the ruler of Cancer. So this could be dealing or involving with, like, surrounding a Cancer, especially dealing with the cups. You could be looking back on a situation with an authority figure that may have been a Cancer or a water sign. You see how that kind of links together? This High Priestess is known for being psychic, very intuitive. She is she's able to feel things, and she is able to see between the veil or see beyond the veil, behind it. She understands that there are secrets and there are things that we don't fully understand. And she has a knowing, like an actual intuitive knowing that she trusts. She trusts her gut above almost anything else. And that's not a bad thing. But also know that your intuition is a skill. It's a muscle that has to be used. And you're not always going to get it right, especially when you're starting to embark on that journey. So the High Priestess is looking for secrets, looking behind the veil, looking behind the scenes sometimes. And it could be something that's been nagging at you that I need to check up on this, or I haven't heard about that, or what's going on with this, and finding that bit of truth that is difficult to single out with a logical mind. You may be able to use your right mind with and be more intuitive about it. And it may come to you in the dream space. Again, I say that because of the Four of Swords. And look, this guy right here, the sword is pointing again to the past. It's like diving into secrets, maybe exposing secrets. The number 4 is the number that deals with stability. It also has some resonance with the sign of Cancer. The 4th house is ruled by Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon. The High Priestess is symbolized by the moon. I said a Cancer could be involved as well, so there's some more synchronicity for you there. Don't have any active 4th house energy, but that doesn't mean that you aren't dealing with it, because on the opposite side of Cancer, on the astrological wheel, is Capricorn, and you are having a lot of Capricornian either squares or retrogrades going on by the end of the month. This 4 of Swords, the swords deal with air signs or reason. Air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. It could be speaking to Gemini moving, or Mars and Gemini squaring Neptune and Pisces. Could be a need for you to slow down. For some of you, that would be towards the end of the month. For others of you, it would be that this is a card of rest, recuperation, or even passive action. Now, if you are being passive, then that is also a choice. Inaction is also a choice. For some of you, it could be that you want to start working on yourself. You do not like the way that you do not like what you are seeing in the mirror. For me personally, that is something I am dealing with. I have put on a lot of weight in the past year dealing with this mental health journey I've been going on. Lots of secrets revealed, and my Taurus moon eats their feelings pretty bad. So yeah, I've put on almost 100 pounds, and I am slowly starting to work that off. And this could be like, hey, you need to get your butt up off the couch and start moving again. I give great advice. I just don't take it very well, right? It could be that for a very small few of you, that there is a situation where a parent is ill or a parent is sick. For some of you, it may be the mother. For some of you, it may be the father. It really just depends on what's going on in their charts, what's in your charts, the energetic aspects in between. But I see this as a digging deep into even the psyche or the mental state And it may be that some of you have to be put on bed rest. And if it's not you, it's someone that you care about, or it's an authority figure in your world that you look to for advice and support sometimes. The final card in the top three for clarity is the Five of Swords. The 5 is a number of adversity, and it has a really hard time achieving balance as well. Again, the Swords, air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This card is a card of conflict, tension, and defeat. It could be that some of you are doing some serious clearing, and you may have to cut away some people. And that could be the squares that you're feeling, that tug of war of what is now worth it and what is no longer worth it. And to the victor, the spoils. Okay, I don't know why that fell out of my hand, but fifth house. The fifth house is the house that's traditionally ruled by Leo. It deals with your creativity, your romance, your children, and your childhood, your social life. This is the people that you would go out and eat dinner with, or go out to a bar, or have over to your house for like a barbecue or something. This isn't people that you would just invite everybody over on social media, open invitation to all your Facebook friends, because you have no idea how many people would show up. But there could be some animosity or struggle in areas surrounding those themes as well, because the sun is involved in some of those squares early on in the month, and the sun is traditionally the ruler of Leo, and Leo is the ruler of the fifth house. So I pulled for you some Lenormand cards as well to give you a little bit more flavor to the tea of what the tarot has dropped for us. In my March series, because the audio wasn't that well, I'm going to reintroduce a little bit of what the Lenormand is. It is a smaller deck. It is about half the size of the Rider-Waite. The illustrations are used. The same illustrator who did the Rider-Waite. Also, these illustrations are from publications of hers, either through the tarot or another written childhood book. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I like these cards because they can be key significators as to what's going on, and it can give you a little bit more information, not only about what the card reads, but also the card delineation at the bottom. So the card at the bottom was the Ring. The Ring is the 25th card of the Lenormand deck. 2 + 5 is 7. That speaks to the 7th house. The 7th house is where that full moon is occurring at 29 degrees of Libra, dealing with your partnerships, your relationships, your open collaborations, your open enemies, open beef, and litigation as well. This full moon occurring in the 7th house is indicating with the Ring, it's putting a highlight on your commitments, your promises, and your engagements. So where the Ace of Cups is coming from the past, this commitment is coming from the Ace of Cups is reflecting on the past. This commitment is moving to the future. Okay. A commitment to focus on the future and not the past is one way that I see this reading. Now we also have the Ace of Clubs. The aces are potential starting points, seeds, initiators. The clubs are associated with the wands energy. The wands are fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And this would speak to being like the Ace of Wands in the Rider-Waite Tarot. So that is a card of inspiration and creation. So it could be that you're trying to create your new reality by focusing more on the present and on the future than what happened in the past or what has gone on in the past. What maybe you were at one time promised, but it didn't come to fruition. Because see this? It pops in on a cloud and it could pop out on a cloud. It wasn't ever grounded fully. It could be that this commitment now is going to be grounded in something stronger than just the promise of air that it was delivered on. Wow, that was really, the way that I presented that was interesting. Pardon me, let me grab a sip. Okay. 24 minutes of extemporaneous speech is a lot. So we have the lady. And the lady is either the seeker or an important woman. I feel like this could very much be speaking to the high priestess. We have this lady who is indicated as someone who is important. So it could be that you are reflecting on a female who was important to you in your childhood, someone who is important to you now as an authority figure, possibly a parent, but it could be a primary caregiver, especially like 80s babies, spent a lot of time in daycare / latchkey kid kind of thing. So it may not necessarily be the maternal figure, but it is like primary caregiver as well, especially with the moon. And with the lady, we have the Ace of Spades. The Ace of Spades is signified by the Ace of Swords. So we have the Ace of Cups signified, the Ace of Wands signified, and now we have the Ace of Swords signified. So it's like you have new beginnings all around. And if you think about it, we've had a lot of 0-degree full moons that have occurred since Christmas. And April is the first month that we've had in 2019 where there hasn't been a 0-degree full moon. This is at the end of the sign, not the beginning. And if you look at her posture, she's looking towards the past. So Ace of Swords, Ace of Spades, Swords again, air sign, reason, logic, and it's about power, victory, and clarity. So for me personally, I'm seeing this as a commitment towards new growth because of what I've been going through in my therapy sessions. And I've been processing a lot of trauma. That's why I was so inactive. But when we have the lady paired with the tree, the lady, like I said, just a significator of a female, doesn't give much more information. So I pulled this extra card, a lanyard card for y'all, little something extra. The tree. The tree card is about your health. It is about genetics. It is about healing. It is about your family tree. It is about your family line. So it could be that psychic health, feminine health, female health, the health of a female around you. If it isn't you, then it's someone that you care deeply about or cared deeply about. It could be a commitment to tend to your health because you know that it is important. We have as well the significator of the 7 of hearts. The hearts are the cup suit. So we have the number 7, which deals with faith. And the cups are water sign. That can be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Dealing with emotion, compassion as well. The 7 of Cups deals with illusion, fantasy, and imagination. Some people may be dealing with illusion about this commitment, or maybe reflecting on the illusion of the commitment and realizing now that it wasn't a solid choice and that there are better options nearby, close by. The focus on health, the focus on recuperation, especially with the 4 of Swords here. Be extra careful with your health. If you're not feeling good, by all means, get it checked out. I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you what I'm feeling by reading these cards. It's going to take digging deep for some of you if it is like what I'm addressing, mental, emotional trauma stuff. But it's a good time for you to use these retrogrades to slow down, to recuperate, to reflect on this tug of war that has been going on between who you are and who the world wants you to be, or who you think the world wants you to be. I also pulled for you a spirit animal oracle card, and I got the number 22, which is interesting. Dragonfly spirit, truth transcends illusion. 2 + 2 is 4, speaking to that 4th house. Another strong Cancerian resonance, dealing with the moon, dealing with feminine energy, if you will, receptive energy. Because I'm still not very proficient with this deck, I'm going to give you both the protection and oracle message from the Dragonfly Spirit book. Dragonfly Spirit Oracle message reads, Dragonfly Spirit is here to remind you of the wisdom and truth available at all times in the hidden realms. So it can be through your intuition or sleep. Just a dragonfly, just as a dragonfly catches your eye with its reflective wings and body, dragonfly spirit tells you to pay attention to the truth beyond the illusion and to recognize the insights that come from seemingly of nowhere. Peeking through from behind the veil. In the spirit realm, there is far more wisdom than you can perceive with your senses. And there's a deep knowing that you are not separate or alone, for a higher power recognizes you and loves you beyond measure. Fears dissipate as you realize you are embraced by the nurturing force that is everywhere, always in communication with you. Dragonfly spirit offers you this message. You exist in unity with all, including the protective spirits who share their wisdom, and you are being nudged along your path, the path that your soul needs to travel to have the experiences that it craves. Love exists in many forms, and sometimes we overlook it when we don't recognize it in a particular form. So pay attention to the signs now. They remind you that each of us have inspired dreams seamlessly sewn into the fabric of the invisible world, and there is a great consciousness that exists in the seemingly empty spaces guiding us on our journey. Open to the truth, letting the wisdom of the hidden realms inform you, providing insights to your conscious mind, insights your conscious mind may overlook. The protective message reads, did you really think that this world of the senses is all there is? From the hidden mystical realms, signs are being sent to you. Perhaps you have perceived separation and convinced yourself all on your own. Have you fallen into spiritual amnesia and forgotten your connection to a loving, living, always supportive universe? If so, rub the sleep out of your eyes, for Dragonfly Spirit is here to remind you of all the love and support available to you in every moment. There is an organizing principle underlying the events that you have experienced, and Dragonfly Spirit can help you to see it and to trust that Spirit has your back. So let go of the illusion and the chaos and the randomness, because love is here. So follow the signs that appear serendipitously as you pay attention to the magic around you, and you will know that you are on the right track. Dragonfly Spirit. I think it's interesting that the Dragonfly Spirit urged you to wipe the sleep from your eyes again, not only speaking to the Seven of Cups, resonance in the tree of illusion or sleep, delusion, that sort of thing, dream space, but also the Four of Swords as well. So Aries, it looks like there's going to be some points and periods for you to reflect. I encourage you to do that, but ground yourself in love so that you can accept the truths that come to you, because they are important and need to be recognized and worked through. You are realizing them for a reason. It is not just random. Understand that they are nudges from a loving universe trying to help you get back on your highest path for your highest good. I'm sending you a lot of love. I hope you're well. If you enjoyed this reading, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you already have, I thank you from the bottom of my very grateful heart. I will see you for the April monthlies after this series is put up. Thank you all so much for sticking around, and I'll see you soon. Take care of yourself. Please be kind to yourself and save some of that kindness for others, because we're all going through private battles in our world that some of us may never speak about to another living soul. I love y'all. Bye.